I feel like someone has done a number on our people. Like, there's something I find really predatory about the materialistic culture that we're co-creating, where there's this expectation on the kind of cars that we need to be driving as young Black, Caribbean, African people in the UK, in London, what kind of designer you're wearing. There's a lot of this messaging that's being pushed about, and that's being exploited by different industries, beauty industry, fashion industries, luxury industries. That's being exploited by different groups, especially when it comes to young people. And there's this feeling almost like we need to buy back our self-esteem, we need to buy back our value as people, that we aren't inherently valuable as human beings outside of what we own, wear. And listen, I'm a fashion designer. I love aesthetics and taste as much as the next person. And I'm all here for aspiration. But I think there's something that is, quite predatory about the culture that's being created, about the narrative that's being created around value systems. And it's ironic because as a community, we set the trend. When we go and start wearing this designer or X, Y, and Z, we get it going. We don't participate at all in the equity of those products. And then a lot of us go broke trying to keep up with the standard that's created. And I think we need to change the narrative, man, especially for the younger generation, for whom, our community ranks in some of the lowest percentiles when it comes to attainment, salary, so on and so forth. But the expectation level, the gap, the wage gap between our expectations and between the reality of what our communities, families are actually accessing due to statistical inequalities, I think we're creating a world in which many of us can't win.
This was a great video. And when we look at Black people and luxury, there's a historical element to it. When you look at history, right, especially for, again, Black people, there are no coincidences. So, for example, this is a Black man from the UK speaking about this. But then you'll also see Black Americans speak about the same issue. But then you'll also see in this video as well, Black South Africans speaking about the same issue. Is that a coincidence? No. Just like the Europeans sat down in Berlin and divided Africa, a lot of the schemes and a lot of the shit that they've done to destroy Black people, they've sat down and discussed it together. I fully believe it. Why is it that Black Americans and Black Caribbean people have European surnames? It's because it's the same strategy they used. Why is it that apartheid and segregation was like the same thing, almost identical? And then you go all the way to Argentina, and then they had their version as well, just a more evolved version. Because it's the same tactics that they use. Which is why videos like this hit so close to home.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now, it's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made.
That was made in 1954, how to sell to the Negro. For the people in my other video who were saying, oh, you guys are too woke. No, you're just asleep. Everything we do as Black people has been studied. It's intentional. Let's think about things they said. It has to have a brand, right? Because we want to be recognized.
I mean, sorry to pause it here, right? I remember when I came to this realization how ingenious and how evil the removal of our last names were. It's one of the most diabolical things maybe ever in human history. It's the reasons why you have FBA, you have people in the Caribbean who don't believe they're African, you have Black Israelites, because we don't know our last names. If your last name is David, Michael, James, Oliver, Yeah, man, it's very easy to look at an African and go, we're not the same. But if your last name was Ngozi, right, or Drogba, or I don't know, insert African surname, there would be absolutely unequivocally no way to deny what you are because you would look inherently stupid doing it. But just doing that, just taking that, giving us the slave plantation last name, it's caused so much havoc. And that isn't a coincidence. These people study us. It's dark when you start to deep it. Everything. It's like, wow.
We want other people to know. We care about what other people think. That's how they still sell to us to this day. Only difference is the quality has went down. Back then there was more integrity behind it. It was due to for so long not being sold good quality items, always having the worst, so they wanted the best. They wanted quality. Also in that video they said that you could not be a top seller if you did not sell to the black people. They spoke about us like we were aliens. They were studying our every move and the things that we do so that they can literally manipulate us. So when you look at Gucci, Louis, Lululemon, and you see all of these other black people wearing it and you feel like you need that for status or to feel good about yourself, just know that it was made for you to feel that way. So many people in my comment section about this, well, I just want to buy what I like. How about we just spend money on the things we want to spend money on? That's fine. I'm just telling you, you're conditioned. I'm just telling you, your subconscious mind is living for you. I'm just telling you, you've been trained by the white man and you're being manipulated. Kanye West even said it. Then I spent $400 on this just to be like, nigga, you ain't up on this. And I can't even go to the grocery store without some ones that's clean and a shirt with a tint. All right. And you see these labels and they have their labels sprawled across a t-shirt or sprawled on a bag. They do that for black people because that's what we gravitate towards. We want everyone to know that we have the money. Even if we don't have the money, we want people to think we have the money. Don't let them consume y'all. Middle school kids bullying other kids when none of them have money. Oh, you don't have a Mary Jeans. You don't have Balenciaga. Whole time everybody on food stamps. But what's the real tea? They know us. They've conditioned us. In our dollar, they cannot lose it. How to Sell to the Negro, 1954. That's the YouTube video.
Shit like this makes me so happy that I've never been materialistic. Never been into designer. The only thing I get that's designer consistently is shoes, and that's like a quality issue. Outside of that, I think I got this from Amazon. You know what I'm saying? This is mine. Growing up, man, I remember, I'd have like no name brand shoes, and people would compare their shoes. Shoes was a big deal because it was the only thing that we could somewhat customize. It had to be black. But you could get like Clarks, you could get Reebok, you could get Nike. And this obsession with name brands, man, is so deep.
Why do you think us as black people are so obsessed with, the brands we were talking about earlier, your Christian Dior's, your Balenciagas? Why do you think that is?
I think, growing up, Ekasi, you'd see quite a lot. There was a huge movement of Amapanzula when we used to wear, not me, by my elderly, they used to wear Ducks of London. It was high fashion then, and there was a huge movement to Swenka. And those things, they played a major role in people's minds to say, if I wear a particular brand, I belong to a particular class, a group of people. And also as black people, we want to show off a lot. But you ask a person, do you have a passport? They're like, no, what am I going to do with a passport? But this person is wearing a D&G or even a Prada.
Shit like this is why the diaspora wars, to me, I find them so incredibly stupid. Just pointless. So many of our experiences are similar, with just a twist. Just like a little. You have so much more in common than not.
Yeah.
And whatever. I'm like, what country have you traveled to? I have not left the country.
The Kasi even.
It's a township thing, and not only here, guys. I'm telling you, even in the US, it's the same story. Americans are some very lazy people to travel. But anyway, bring it back to your questions that we want to be affirmed and confirmed that we've made it in life. That's why we have to be seen wearing a particular brand. And those things have made us to live in poverty more than anyone, any other race under the sun. Because you look at today.
You guys let me know in the comments. Wasn't there like some data that came out that was like black people spend the most money on like luxury items? It was an American study. Crazy. That is literally insane.
Young people, young generations, they're also catching up to that. Our parents are kind of like, okay. Because our parents, when, I know this, my mom, when she was raising us up, when she was a domestic worker, the most that she was getting was 3,000 rand. And there was 5 of us, Ekai, and then there was my mom. And then she had to make sure that we go to school. We've got school uniform. We eat every Sunday or every day. And Sunday, there's like a 7 colors meal. We go to church. I'm raised from a Christian church family. And we had to go to church every Sunday. And there's always Sunday's best. And we had to like look the part. We can't just like looking with like torn pants or like shoes that are like old and stuff. And my mom did well. Imagine with 3,000 rands, 5 kids. And our parents knew how to do it. But today, our generation is like, they'll ask, what am I going to do with 3,000 rands?
Exactly.
You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about this in the comment section below. It is something that has a stranglehold over the community, unfortunately.
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let this go. This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone.